What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we are having full Halloween Pokemon team number 2. So I haven't done one of these for 3+ years. The third theme team I actually ever did when I started this theme team series on YouTube was that one. So if you want a little bit of a blast from the past or you haven't seen it for a very long time, I'll leave it in the description of the video. Anyways, people, happy Halloween. I don't really celebrate this much myself. It's more of an outside Australian thing, but go for it. Eat your candy, knock on doors, dress up as a shiny green Dragonite, do whatever you like. Let's get into this video. If you do have a favorite ghost type Pokemon, let me know in the comment section. I want to see what the favorite ghost type is out of everyone. Come on, people, let's see who it is. Any theme teams or feedback on the video would be wonderful too. Alright, so we have a Beedrill lead here. Now, I've got a really cool Gorgeist set. This one performed rather good in a lot of the battles I did. So it was a max attack, max speed set. Now, I actually opted to go for the average size Gorgeist, which had a little bit more speed. That's why I opted to go for it. Now, this has got Flame Charge, as you already seen. I've got Frisk ability with the King's Rock, Bullet Seed, Astonish, and Trick or Treat. I thought I had to run Trick or Treat to turn them into a ghost type, flinch them with Astonish, and try and get a scummy flinch with Bullet Seed too, and boost my speed with Flame Charge, and it also allowed me to hit like other types for super effective too. So now I got rid of that Beedrill. It only set up a Toxic Spikes, which wasn't too bad. I had a Pokemon to get rid of them, so that was pretty good. So now Ditto's going to come in and copy my Gorgeist. So not exactly what I wanted, but that's all good. However, I actually outspeed it, so I'm like, okay, well, that definitely confirms that it's not Choice Scarf. Now, I've got the +1 in speed, which is good. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping the Ditto would go for Astonish so I could get the +1 up in speed in it, but that wasn't the case. We're both going to get +1 in speed from Flame Charge. Now the Ditto outspeeds me this turn. I was like, oh, I went for the Astonish this turn. I wanted to get that, that 30% flinch chance. Guys, Astonish is, the most amazing move ever. It's astonishing. Anyway, so now I'm going to go for the Astonish, and it does like so much damage to Ditto. The whole point of that was you want to be going first, right? So you want to be trying to get those flinches. If you're going second, you're not going to get a flinch. It doesn't work that way. So it's pretty much useless. And we all know that crit mattered. So Gorgeist goes down. I got countered hard by a Ditto. Now, a lot of the time, it worked pretty well in a lot of battles, but exceptions like Ditto or when Bullet Seed only hit twice and things like that. Anyway, so swapping in my Spiritomb. Now, Spiritomb was not meant for this matchup. I actually wanted to bait them in to go for a Bullet Seed. So swapping out my Spiritomb here and going into my Scarecrow, which is my Cacturne. Now, this Cacturne worked very nicely in a lot of the battles. This was a bulky defensive Cacturne. I know, defensive Cacturne, so bulky. A max health, max defense. I was hoping they go for a Bullet Seed there because I've actually got Rocky Helmet on this. I could get some nice Rocky Helmet damage. However, they're going to attack me anyway, so I guess that was better than nothing. This was I already said the EVs. I had a Spiky Shield, my favorite healing move, Leech Seed, and Giga Drain. I've also got Water Absorb on this one as well. I thought that'd be the superior ability. I was opting to go for a Sand Veil, like a scummy Sand Veil one, but I didn't do that in the end. Anyway, so Ditto's not going to be able to flinch me with Astonish, and now I'm going to take that out with the Giga Drain. So a fairly even battle at the moment. I really like Shiny Cacturne. It just suits it does suit the Halloween theme. Anyways, I actually think I used Spiritomb in my very first one too. It just suits it so well. So now we have a Selgor coming in. I was kind of curious what move I was going to use. I was kind of guessing a bug type move, obviously. So I went for the Spiky Shield just to see what it was going to do. It's going to go for the U-turn. Now, here I kind of thought about swapping out. Or I thought maybe they're going to predict that and go for another move. Maybe I should stay in and go for a Leech Seed. That could be an idea. So I went for the risky play and decided to go for Leech Seed. However, this Selgor's going to go for another U-turn, and that's going to be enough to take out Cacturne. Unfortunately, I was on half health already, and it was a 4x weakness. I think I would have taken that if I had max health. Just would have been nice to see. Anyways, the bulky Cacturne took a lot of people off guard. It was very fun to use. So now the Selgor's going to swap out with U-turn. Absol is going to come in, which is absolutely amazing. So we have my Spiritomb here, which is really cool. Let's go for what set this was. And now I actually brought this Spiritomb over from a couple of gens back. This was a bulky special attacking set. So we got max health, max special attack, the rest investment in defense or whatever you want, special defense. I've got Assault Vest on this as well with the Pressure ability. I can only get Pressure ability because I actually brought Silver Wind from an earlier gen. And I get a boost with Ominous Wind. So I've got Ominous Wind and Silver Wind for double scumminess to try and get as many boosts as I possibly can. Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse as well for some little bit more powerful stab. And that flinch chance. So, the Toxic is on the field, which is Kind of unfortunate. I could have brought another Pokemon to get rid of that, but I thought this would be a good swap in, and it wasn't like badly poisoned either. Anyway, so it's going to be a special Absol. I'm going to go for a Silverwind. It was nice to actually have a super effective attack to hit against Absol. And I get another boost. I'm like, what? No way. So I got 2 boosts there, which is going to make me very bulky and which is going to enable me to actually start outspeeding Pokemon now. So with the Assault Vest and +2 in Special Defense, this Spiritomb was like so bulky. The only real bad thing that was going on at the moment was this poison. I was like, if this poison wasn't on the field, man, this thing would be like deadly. Anyway, so going for another scummy win there, and that's going to be enough to take out the Absol. Man, I can't believe I got 2 in a row. So now the Spiritomb is going to take a little bit more damage from the Toxic. So I probably got about 1, maybe 2 turns left before I'm going to go down. I did acquire a lot of bulk, so I know they can probably take another attack. So Aselga is going to be able to outspeed me with the Leech Life. It does absolutely donkeys to me. It's going to recover about as much health as Shedinja has. And I'm going to go for the Ominous Wind, which is going to be Stab, and that's going to be enough to take out the Aselga in one foul swoop. So Aselga is down. I've got another little round of toxic damage, so probably one more turn is going to be enough to my Spiritomb, and that is it. But man, he's done absolutely awesome. So now we have Roland coming in, which is the Donphan. Now this thing caused me a few problems. So going for the Ominous Wind on the Donphan, which is probably my best attack, I get over half health. Donphan is going to use Rest. I'm like, oh, is this a classic Pimpnite Rest Sleep Talk set? So anyway, the Donphan is going to go to sleep. And there's not much I can really do. There's no point me swapping out, right? I've got my boost up already. However, it's going to be a Chesto Berry set. So I'm like, okay, that's at least I can't use Sleep Talk, right? I'm going to get hit by the Toxic again. So I thought, well, let's go for Ominous Wind again. That's my best attack that I could do. And it'd be funny if I got another boost, right? I get a 3rd boost. No way. If only I didn't have this poison. Man, that would have been so good. Anyway, so Roland's going to go for another Rest, and that's going to be a Sleep. So it's like, damn it. And that's my Spiritomb down this turn. But man, I got 3 boosts from it. I was so hyped. Anyway, so Roland's going to be a little bit dead in the water there because it can't really do anything unless it has Sleep Talk. But commonly when you use Chesterberry, you're not really going to have Sleep Talk, right? Okay, so that's half my team down. Now, I thought this would be a good time to swap in my Hypno. Now, I thought Hypno would be a good Pokemon on this team. And I've got a very appropriate moveset as well for this team. It actually ran well with another Pokemon. So I've got Trick Room on this. I've got Hypnosis, Dream Eater. Now, the Donphan was already asleep, so I could make use of that, it being asleep already. I could go directly for Dream Eater. Also had Shadow Ball on this as well. I've got Insomnia ability and Ghostium Z. Anyway, so the Donphan really can't do anything. I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here because I thought they may swap, but it turned out they didn't, so that kind of sucked. So taking a little bit more damage from the Toxic. So this one I was decided, should I go for the Z Shadow Ball or should I go for another Dream Eater? I opted to go for the Z Shadow Ball. Now, it's going to wake up and go for the Earthquake. Does really good damage to my Hypno. I'm going to go... Now, the reason why I put Shadow Ball in this with Ghostium Z, because it actually turns it into Never Ending Nightmare, which I thought was very appropriate for, Hypno to use. Plus, I called it Sweet Dreams as well. So, it was such an appropriate move for it to use. And it had Hypnosis and Dream Eater as well. So, I just thought it worked perfectly. Anyway, so our yellow friend is going to wrap Donphan in a creepy-ass nightmare. And I wanted to say it lived on 1 health, but it hangs on by a slither of health. And unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to take out the Roland. Now Roland's going to go for another Rest again. Oh, the salt is rising, people. Anyway, so it's going to get all its health back. I know that it does everything like Rest Sleep Talk. Sleep Talk. So at least I can know that I can, might be able to set up against this thing. Anyway, so now I can go for the Dream Eater again. It's a 3-hit KO. At least I'm going to get some health back to starve off the damage from the Toxic. So, as I said, it's a 3-hit KO. I know I can, if I hit this 3 more times, it's gonna go down. However, there was the risk of it swapping. So, finally, they swap out the Donphan, and in comes the Sand Slash, which sucks. I really can't do too much to this thing, apart from going for, a Shadow Ball or risking a Hypnosis against the Sand Slash. Anyway, so... this turn, I'm going to go down. I'm expecting maybe another swap into the Donphan because they're already asleep, expecting the Hypnosis. So here I opted to go for the Trick Room to try and set up my remaining Pokemon on my team. So go for Trick Room, and like I thought, the Donphan would come back in. So Hypno pretty much did its best work. Unfortunately, it just didn't get the KO with that kill. A lot of the times, I got so close with those those Shadow Ball kills, and the Hypnosis, Dreamer to work really nicely. Or they'd like wake up at the very last moment and then get a rest off, or like take me out or something frustrating like that. Anyway, so swapping into Hone Edge. Now this was actually a really fun strategy too. Now, since Hone Edge has got nice defense, right, I thought let's make use of that defense, and it's got nice offense too. So I've got a max health, max defense set with Power Trick. Now, Power Trick is going to swap the base stat of the attack and defense. So that's going to give it a lot of attack. I've also got Sword Dance on there. Now, bear in mind, Power Trick doesn't take into account for stat boost. It only goes for the raw stat. So I'm boosting my attack even more. I've also got Gyro Ball and Shadow Sneak on this thing as well. Obviously, Everlight as the item. So it worked really nicely, and it's a good little Pokemon to use, and worked nicely with that Trick Room, like going for those Gyro Balls. Had Shadow Sneak for a priority too, in case I didn't have a Trick Room up. Anyway, so going for Gyro Ball, and that is just enough to take out Roland. Oh my goodness, Roland was like a biggest pain in the butt ever. So the Trick Room has run out. I can go for Gyro Ball against Sandslash. I was actually wondering what it had to land against me as in hits. So now the Sandslash is going to go for the Sword Dance. Now, I did actually use Power Trick already, so my defenses are a little bit weaker. Going for the Gyro Ball here, that's the best move I can possibly do, and it really doesn't do very much at all. Sandslash annoyingly has leftovers as well, so like, should I go for another Sword Dance? Like, what should I do here? So I decided to go for another Shadow Sneak, because I thought, well, they're probably going to attack me this turn, so let's get some extra damage off at least. Now the Sandslash is going to go for the Iron Head, so it has bugger all to hit me with. Iron Head does absolutely nothing to me, so it clearly doesn't have anything to hit me with. I was guessing it had an Ice-type move, a Steel-type move, Sword Dance, and maybe Hail or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so it's going to go for the Icicle Crush this time. Go for that scummy flinch. I was hoping I didn't get flinch. I'd love to get another Gyro Ball off. I'm going to leave on 29 health, and I get the Gyro Ball off, which is really good. So that's going to be some more damage against the Sandslash. Now, my last Pokemon was a fairly good gimmick too, but I kind of needed the Sandslash to be on a reasonably low amount of health. Otherwise, I'm going to get like one-shotted. More about that will become clear as the battle goes on. So going for another Shadow Sneak there, the Sandslash is going to go for yet another Icicle Crash, and I'm going to be actually allowed to live that one on 3 health. So I can get another Shadow Sneak off against the Sandslash. I know that it's not going to be enough to take it out, but it is putting it in a low health range for my last Pokemon. This Hone Edge worked very, very nicely. It was one-shotting things with Gyro Ball. The beauty about it, Power Trick, right, even with the Everlight, like with the Everlight and the attack, it's got nice attack too, so it's not really like, you know, like a Shuckle using Power Trick. It doesn't have like one defense, so it is still very viable to use that strategy on it. If you want to like play around with some gimmicks. Anyway, so my last Pokemon is Ginga. This is my physical Ginga set. I've used this guy a couple of times. It's a very fun set. I've actually got Power Up Punch on it, which is probably the only move I had on it, which is going to actually take Sandslash out. I had Poison Jab, Shadow Punch, and Sucker Punch, which all would have not taken it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. It was very fun. So I had a max speed, max attack on that Gengar with the Life Orb and Cursed Body. So now we have another battle using the same team and trying to make use of this poor Gorgeist. Had some good battles, but I had some absolute shockers as well, just how unlucky it was. So now we have an Aerodactyl lead, which I was a little bit scared of. It's going to be Unnerve. I'm glad I didn't run any berries on this as well. So I can frisk out the leftovers. I'm like, leftovers? Okay, maybe it's a bulky Aerodactyl. It's going to go for Pursuit. Now, I wasn't actually too far off swapping out my Gorgeist, but I decided to stay in and go for the Flame Charge. So that's going to boost my speed by +1. Now, Aerodactyl, as you know, is a very fast Pokemon, so I thought, I'm probably going to need another Flame Charge to actually take this one out. I'm actually going to crit on the Flame Charge, which is nice. Not that it really mattered, because Leftovers is going to recover most of the damage I did anyway. However, this turn I outspeed it with the Flame Charge. I'm like, oh, okay, that's going to be enough. Right, I could have gone for a scummy Bullet Seed there, or I could have gone for a Trick or Treat. Anyway, so the Aerodactyl is going to go for the Rock Tomb. So it's like a support set. That's going to drop my speed by 1 stage. Oh, I'm getting countered here hard. So that's going to drop one of my Flame Charges that I already did. So I was thinking here, I could go for Bullet Seed, or I could go for another Flame Charge, or I could go for Trick or Treat. Decided to go for some damage with Bullet Seed. So firing off some seeds against the Aerodactyl, it's doing pretty good damage, which is good too. I was hoping for 5 hits, and I only get 2. I'm like, oh. Then the Aerodactyl is going to go for this Tailwind, which is basically going to virtually render my Gorgeist useless, because now it's going to easily get outspeed, even with the Aerodactyl with, like, even if you ran a hindering nature Aerodactyl with like 0 IVs and speed, it was going to outspeed with a Tailwind up. Anyway, so it's going to go for another Scum Tomb again. That's going to drop my speed. I hope I can get another Flame Charge up. but unfortunately that is not going to be the case, and man, I got like counted so hard then, my poor Gorgeese. It does appear in the bloopers again, people, and in the bonus battle. Don't you worry about that. Anyway, so it does so much work then too. So now the Aerodactyl is going to be able to take me out with the Rock Tomb, and I got counted. Like Ditto, first it was Ditto, right? Then it was bulky Aerodactyl with Rock Tomb. Like, what the hell is it going to be next? Anyway, so it's going to get close to half health after left as recovery. So I do have a Pokemon that will be nice against this, which is Life Drain. Now, I called it Life Drainer because if you look at its Pokedex entry, it drains the life of the person who grabs the sword. So it's quite some creepy Pokedex entries. I actually have done a creepy Pokedex entries team too, if you haven't watched that one already. Anyway, so I thought this would be a prime opportunity to go for the power trick, swapping my attack and defense. So even after that, I knew I have enough bulk to live off the next attack. Go for the Gyro Ball, which I knew would be enough to take out the Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl has nice base speed. I've got terrible base speed. I've got on this one relaxed nature to drop my speed and boost my defense, if I didn't say that one already. Okay, so I just hang on 12th health, which is nice. That Everlight saving my life there. Going for the Gyro Ball. That's going to be enough to take out the Aerodactyl, which is good. Finally, the bulky Aerodactyl goes down. New meta. So now we have the Kabutops coming out. So I thought I could go for Shadow Sneak here, but the only problem is if Kabutops actually has something like Aqua Jet, of course, which it does, and that's going to take me out, unfortunately, as I wasn't on enough health to actually tank that one. I actually don't mind shiny Kabutops. Looks pretty cool. So now I thought, let's bring in Scarecrow because Kabutops isn't probably going to stand against this one. It's it's very, very scared of grass-type Pokemon. However, it's going to go for the Rock Slide here, which would have done a lot of damage to a normal Cacturn, but this is the classic bulky Pimpnite Cacturn, and it's not going to do anything to it. I'm going to go for the Giga Drain, which is going to nuke the field of Kabutops, and that's going to get all my health back. Om nom 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 nom. So that was nice. That Rock Slide would have done, that would have nearly one-shotted me if I was running like a sweeping version. Anyway, so we have the Meteor coming in. That's the Indigo one, if I do believe so. So it's going to have its shields up. I can't really use, I can't use Leech Seed. I can't use a couple of those moves. I decided to let it hit me and see what it would do. I went for the Giga Drain myself. I absolutely tanked that so well. Get some damage off with the Rocky Helmet. It's a MLG Acrobat. I was low-key hoping it was the Acrobatics. I can't be the only one hoping to do that. Anyway, so getting some health back with the Giga Drain. It's going to go into Shields Down as well after that Giga Drain and Rocky Helmet. So it's a lot more offensive now. But I know that I've got max health and max defense, so I'm going to be K. So going for the Spiky Shield there, hoping to get some extra damage up against the Meteor, so that's good, getting a little bit of extra damage. Now I can go for the Giga Drain next, and hopefully that'll be enough to take it out after I tank the next move. So it's going for the Acrobatics, since it's in a much more offensive form. It's still a 3-hit KO after all that, and I'm going to get the Rocky Helmet and Giga Drain damage, and that's going to be enough to take out the Meteor Indigo. Man, I've got to use the Acrobatics again. That was the greatest C move ever. Anyway, so that's down. So we're going to feel even battle at the moment. Now we have the Rhydon coming in. So I thought, well, if it's I wasn't running anything in special attack either, so I knew there was a chance it would live. So I went for the Leech Seed here in case it had any setup moves on it at all. Now it's going to go for the Hammer Arm. So I'm like, oh, well, unfortunately, Rhyperior has a fairly good base attack. I wasn't on full health. And that's going to be enough to take out Cacturn. But I got a Leech Seed up and I got some Rocky Helmet on this. That's good. So Cacturn did a nice job there. So I think it actually took out 2 Pokemon. So now swapping in Spiritomb. You guys know this set. This is a scummy, Ominous Wind. I had a mental blank what that move was. Silver Wind set. Anyway, so Lunatone's going to come in here. Man, it didn't matter what poor old Lunatone was going to get hit by. Ominous Wind, Silver Wind, it still was going to get hit very hard. So I'm going to get, unfortunately, I was hoping to get a scummy boost there. Now, the Lunatone is going to go for the Rock Slide. I was hoping I didn't get flinched there. It really doesn't do a lot to Spiritomb, obviously with a max health and nice base defense. And Lunatone's, attack stat isn't what you call the greatest in the world. So that is down. Actually, that's a shiny one too. I just noticed there, its eye was blue. So now we have the Solrock come in. Pokemon Sun and Moon confirmed, guys. Leaks confirmed. Anyway, so now it's going to go for the Stone Edge against my Spiritomb. Thank goodness it doesn't crit me. That would have taken me out. I'm going to go for the Silver Wind there. And guys, you won't believe it. I got another boost. I got more boosts from Silver Wind than Ominous Wind. In a lot of the battles. So I get my buffiness there, and that's going to be able to allow me to actually outspeed the Solrock and go for another Silver Wind, and that's going to be enough to take out that. So that was cool. Would have been ridiculous if I got another, another boost there. So Solrock's down. The last Pokemon we got is the Rhyperior. So once again, I knew that I wouldn't be able to take this one out, so I just went for a Silver Wind there to try and get another boost for the lols. And that's going to take it fairly well, and it's going to take me out with the Earthquake there. Rhino has some nice attack there, and that's going to be enough easily to take out my Spiritomb. I mean, you could, for argument's sake, you could run like max health, max defense, Assault Vest, and try and bank on those boosts, but the problem is you need like 2 or 3 boosts to even get it like somewhat threatening. Okay, so Swampy and Ginga here, going for a Shadow Punch, guys. Oh wow, that did so much damage. I'm going to go for the Life Orb Shadow Punch. That does amazing damage. I'm going to get hit by the Drill Run there. Since, unfortunately, I really don't like that it has Cursed Body over Levitate, because then it's prone to things like that. But that's how it went anyways with the new ability. So anyway, so my last Pokemon is Hypno. Guys, I had to go for it. I had to go for the Z Shadow Ball. I'm going to hit by the Stone Edge. Does a lot of damage to me. This time, I wanted to finish off the battle with Never Ending Nightmare. A lot of the times, right, as I mentioned before, it would the Pokemon would live on 1 health. Seriously, I wasn't even joking about that. T-shirt's coming soon, by the way. But they kept living on 1 health, a little bit of health, because, Hypno's special attack wasn't the greatest in the world. It wasn't Stab either, but here we go, dragging Rhyperior down and giving it a nice little nightmare. Nice little whisper at night time. And that is down. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. I've got some uploads coming tomorrow, and peace out. Have a good Halloween.